Hello and welcome to the Speed Duel Masters Circuit Week number 6,
Oh,
presented by Judgment Gaming. I am Justice. I am joined here by Terror Master. Um, it.
hi.
Hey, welcome. So things are going to be a little bit different as far as presentation goes this week. I'll explain that, and then we'll get into it. Um, as you all may be able to hear, I am quite sick. Honestly, it's pretty tough for me to talk, so Terra Master's going to be doing pretty much a solo cast this week. Um, Suffice it to say that someone at work knew they were sick and decided to get real close to me anyway. It was a player, not a coworker, but they literally coughed on me. They were sniffling the whole time. They were obviously sick and had their face like right next to mine, trying to watch what was going on the whole time. Got me extremely sick. I've been sick for a week now. It's been rough, but COVID test came back negative, so we have that going for us. So things are gonna be okay. Um, Eventually, I will probably not die, but until then, um, that is where we're at. I do unfortunately can't give my normal energy, but thank you, Terra Master, for the sub. Welcome back to the Halls of Justice. It's a 9 month resub and adds, of course, $2 to the prize pool, which will bring us up to $66 for the SMC. So that is awesome. I wish I could give a bigger shout out and more energy because that is fantastic. But this is what you can get right now. But thank you, my friend.
$66, $2 from Terra Master, 9 month streak, YouTube. There you go.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
All right.
Alrighty. So yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm probably just gonna, as you have the camera off, I look like crap. I feel like crap, but I'll probably my mic muted for most of this. But Terra Master's gonna do a great job. I'm just gonna be mostly the tech guy for today, making sure that hopefully everything's running more or less smoothly, as much as I have the ability to make sure of these things. So I'm gonna throw the standings on the screen, and then I'm gonna mute myself. And Terra Master, you can take it away whenever you are ready.
Yeah, so see, my plan to completely take over the Speedo community has reached another phase where I'm taking over other Twitch channels now. So that's nice. Anyway, we see the standings are up here, and we see Tensei Patu halfway through the circuit, still undefeated. Obviously, there were some technicalities which I explained last week, but let's just forget about those for now and just focus on the fact that this man is still undefeated, never lost a match, only has taken one single game loss this whole time as well. Actually absurd. He is pretty far ahead on a lot of things at this point. We've got Hexy still in second place, not still in second place. I mean, moving up to second place, as you can see on that beautiful little change column, moving up 2 spots from last week. Starblast still sitting at 4-1, still has only taken a one loss, but does have one more match lost than Hexy, breaking that tie, causing Starblast to be in third place. We have Jack Kiyomu, winner of Toxic Legacy, by the way, sitting in fourth place at 3-2 and a decent game score. Obviously was higher last week, but 3-2 is still pretty good. Remember, you only have to be in the top 6. Speaking of top 6, rounding out the top 6 are the other two 3-2 players. They're obviously the other two top 6 players, because that's what I just said. That is Self-Record, also from Theg, as Tensei Patu, as we know, is also from Theg, just not labeled as such. And Siren Rises, also at 3-2. However, Siren Rises does not have the best game score at 4-5. Thus, it will be tough for Siren Rises to break any kind of a tiebreaker. Nightblader, as just commented in Twitch chat, is genius and sitting in 7th place as to not waste additional time in the playoffs. If that's really your goal, then that's, the way to do it, obviously, is to bubble and then say, "Oh, look, I tried, but I didn't make it." Obviously, not intentionally at all. All right. We also have Ursus in 8th. What happened to you, Ursus? You were supposed to be one of the best players in the community. Indeed, very disappointing so far. Step it up. We got Paulo sitting in 9th place because decided to play decks like Skull Servants and Gaia. I respect the deck choices being fun, but this is what happens. So anyway, guys, that's that. Why don't we just get to what everybody's actually here for, which is the games. And Justice, you're going to have to go ahead and share your screen with me for those replays one more time, as that has disappeared. Ah, magical Discord sound. The game has appeared. And I assume it has also appeared on your screen. There is a delay as to what I'm watching on the stream. So let's just get into it. Our first match is Sulfur Court against Siren Rises, dueling book name Yami Mokuba. It's time to duel. Hands are hidden because Justice is running the thing, not me. So that's something you won't have to worry about this week. Let's go. Ursus did throw last week. I do remember that now. I don't remember who won the RPS, but Sofa Cord is going second, so I assume that was the winner. We have Siren Rises with a classic T set plus one more, an L set. Obviously, it's a T, but beyond the level of a T. And here's Sofa Cord normal summoning the biggest staple from the GX box, Different Dimension Warrior Lady. Set 2 cards, attack. We see Warrior Lady into Warrior Lady. Such violence. Parasite Paranoid is... Wait, once it flips up and you know what it is, that would be before Battle Step, correct? I guess, yeah, Sofako did tie Battle Step. Yabi, Siren Riser should have just waited there. So I guess that is what it is. All right. Anyway, the attack will proceed. Take 100 damage, banish both DD Warrior Ladies, summon Moth from hand, because it seems like nowadays the qualification to be a good Moth player has changed from just having Parasite to actually having Parasite and Moth, the combo, and a way to get them off, which Breaker or DD Warrior Lady actually both work to do that, which is what makes the deck actually, if you think about it, just another level of ridiculous. Anyway, Siren Rises didn't really have much of a play there, just decided to go ahead and set one pass. Obviously, we see half of Greed come out here from Sofa Cord. Another DD Warrior Lady. Moth flip summon back up. Floodgate, book to counter Floodgate, kind of. It just makes Floodgate a book, which is kind of a funny thing to say, which is like, I activate my card, which turns your card into my card. Anyway, DD Warrior Lady will get in for 15. And Amazonis Swordswoman will come down from Siren Rises, attack into the Moth, a big 1500 damage to Sulfur Core, taking the lead in life points, because as the anime teaches us, the life point score is all that matters, and not the board state, obviously. Sulfur Core will draw, spin that Moth into attack mode, choose not to attack the Amazon Swordsman with the Moth, instead going in with the Warrior Lady. However, the Wall of Disruption will cause 1500 more damage, but then the attack from Moth comes in for 1900. This thing got hit with a double, well, I guess a 2x weakening from Wall of Disruption, and is still as strong as a charging Gaia that was normal summon using its effect. Absurd. Just that's how good this thing is. That's how good it is. And then we go Digging for Gold, allows you to draw one card. Obviously, this means so far, their skills are equal, right? They've both drawn one card. But just you wait till we see part of the skill. That's the problem. Anyway, Swift Cord will draw, set, and attack with Moth. Attempt to go for game. Remember, this Moth is at 1900. Zoma the Spirit comes out. 1900 would still be enough to end the game if it crashes over the Zoma. Can we get a Zoma counter started in the chat? Where is Jack? Set monster from Siren Rises. Zoma will go for crash as it's only 1900, but a Wall of Disruption could actually make this game. Was that a misplay not respecting the one of wall? It was one of last week in Sofa Court's deck, assuming no changes, obviously. And that wall indeed is the game winner. You think Zoma wins the game, but no, it's the wall that wins the game. All right. That was fun. Moth wins, LOL. Let's move on to game 2. And game 2 is Yami Mokuba, or Siren Rises. I'm going to do that sometimes where I just read the name on the screen. Yep, one of, and didn't respect, afraid of the more consistent book. Actually makes complete sense. You got to respect the 3 of more than the 1 of. I get that. Anyway, so Silent Rises will go second tier as lost game 1. So, of course, playing some kind of a 30 card deck. This is Shadow Reborn. Yep, not flipped at the start of Duel, so if you're not cheating, it's Shadow Reborn. It is indeed relinquished. I should know that because I should be looking at the screen where I see Moth banned from Siren Rises and Cyber Angels banned from Sofa Chord. So knowing what's banned, of course this isn't Cyber Angels, this is relinquished. What an idiot. All right, anyway, pre-prep, very good card to open in a 30-card deck. Obviously, a very skilled play there. Activate the ritual to set up the loop instantly. Even on turn 1, very nice, because you have a Shadow Reborn. You don't really care if it gets disrupted right now. Here comes the Senju. So obviously, Siren Rises, we know, is on Cyber Angels because it's not Burn again, since, you know, it's not David. It's whatever this NPC's name is. Emma? Probably. Okay. Ritual Ceremony allows you to search for 1 ritual spell. I almost said draw 1 card because that's like, you know, what the skills were last time. Anyway, it allows you to search 1 card. Might as well be just draw this card. And then activate said ritual spell. Bend 10 for E to 10. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. No need to Chainlink block until we get some cards printed in Speed Duel, such as, I don't know, something that negates monsters on field at least would cause you to have to Chainlink block, right? Because then you would want the E to 10 to not be negated. Anyway, why am I thinking about hypotheticals? We get the double search, so you add a ritual spell from E to 10 and a Izana from Ben 10. Gonna go straight into that Izana. Might be going for the loop break here, which remember, one way to do that is to indeed, and this is flip Angels, as we see the Man-Eater bug, which would tell me that there has to be a Night Assailant in there as well, at least. Anyway, so Izana will come down, E to 10 will trigger, and that is a Floodgate Trap Hole. Absolutely devastating. Relinquished will now just get to take the monster of the choice of Sofa Court. And let's see what it is. Siren Rises said you got the God Hand with the 0 card deck. I think that is meant to be 30 card deck because obviously if you have a 0 card deck, you literally cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh! So I don't think that would work out very well for either player here to have a 0 card deck. Anyway, Sofa Court takes the 2-0, will probably move slightly higher in the standings due to this. But let's go look at the deck list, starting with the banned deck. Whose list are we looking at first, Justice? Who is muted, so I'm just going to wait for it to pop up on screen. And we're looking at Moth from Siren Rises, which was banned. Obviously, you have to have your 3 breakers and 3 DD Warrior Lady. And this is something I've never actually mentioned on stream before, but I did today. Because both the breaker and the Warrior Lady are actually very easy triggers for your Parasite Moth combo if you have both of them in hand. So that's something which also makes the deck just absurd, is that Breaker and DD Warrior Lady actually ended up being direct support cards for this combo specifically, and that the fact that they're much better than Breaker, which is also kind of a support card for that combo, just makes it just absurd, right? Like, this deck has power crept Control Moth, that is, from Warrior Moth, what it used to be, to this. So that's pretty much why Moth is still the best deck in the format. It keeps getting this accidental support. Anyway, we see the trap lineup is 3 Zoma. Obviously, that's your best way to OTK now. And Floodgate and Book of Moon staples. Very standard, very solid. No wonder it got banned. It's very scary to play against. All right, moving on. There's these bits of awkward silence, obviously, as we have to wait for the deck to pop up on the stream screen. So I see the deck at the same time as you do. Here it is. It's Flip Angels with 3 flip monsters. The variety is interesting, but I don't know why not just go. But I guess it doesn't really matter. But although Old Vindictive is, as we know, slightly better than Man-Eater Bug, not to say obviously to recycle those plus the jar. Senju, and then the typical Cyber Angel package. Nothing special there. Obviously, we know the skill is Emma. Let's move on to the last deck for Siren Rises, as it's becoming harder and harder to talk about these same decks. To play around Nobleman of Crossout. That's an interesting point. Thank you, Sofacord. Sion Rises is final deck here, which is the burn deck, as we know. It's got Warrior Lady of the Wasteland to bring forth that Swordswoman or the Exiled Force in niche situations. Obviously, a bunch of warriors here, including DD Warrior Lady, so you gotta have triple Rhoda, which is great. You gotta have the Zombina, the one of tech for the Reborn from Graveyard Recursion a little bit, and then obviously it's a burn deck, so you have to play 700 million traps. And that's, I mean, again, it's hard to say much about these decks when they seem to be getting consistent. So I think we've developed like an SMC meta too, where people kind of know what their deck should look like. Maybe like one cut, one ad every week, but there's not like significant change here week to week. It seems like in the way these decks are built. All right, moving on to Sofa Chord's decks, starting with the banned Cyber Angels. Sofa Chord making another good point where you literally do not want to draw some of your flip monsters. So if you play 3 Vindictives and it gets knocked and you thin your deck essentially by getting rid of those Vindictive Magicians, that's actually not the worst outcome in the world. It lets you draw your combo more often. So that's honestly something to think about. Anyway, this Cyber Angels is also Jar Angels, although there is the tech cards of 2 Cosmic Cyclone and 1 DD Warrior Lady. It's funny calling DD Warrior Lady a tech card when it's probably the best card in the format. But that's what's going on here specifically. So this deck was banned. The Sion Rise did not want to deal with it. And, you know, understandable. It not only has one of the best boss monsters in Speed Duels, but also the staple and the scary, scary Jar, which without side decking is actually terrifying. All right, let's move on to the next deck for Sofa Chord here. And this is just going to be either Moth or Relinquish, so I don't assume many changes from prior weeks. I don't assume I'm going to have much to say about it. Yep, look at this. You play all the good stuff. You play a ritual package with Relinquished, and you play some Allures. You play some Floodgates. It's very, like, there's not much to say. There's no text here, no pre-side decking cards, nothing like that. Let's move on to Moth, why don't we? And also have nothing to say about the Moth deck, because it's just going to be a fairly standard Moth deck. Well, I guess there would be one thing to say about the Moth deck, and that is the Wall of D, one of which was obviously not respected enough and actually won the game. There's also one of Noblemen of Crossout. I think for those Jar decks specifically, it's a good tech card to have. So good stuff to see. At least there's 2 techs going on here, and it's not just me saying, well, look, it's the standard Moth deck. So thank you for doing that, at least, Sofa Chord. With that done, why don't we move on to our next game, which is Hexy against Star Blast 100. Hexy, by the way, took Volcanics all the way to 2nd place in Toxic Legacy. So shout out to Hexy for doing something cool like that. Let's see if Hexy can carry forward that momentum and win a game here in SMC. RPS. Obviously winning the scissors versus paper matchup, so carrying forward the momentum thus far. Alright, so Sofa Chord and Sion Rises are discussing some of their play here. I'm not going to read through all that. Looks like a private conversation. Starblast will T-set and L-set. Why do I prematurely call it T-set? And pass. We see Aster Phoenix coming into play here. The only GX skill seeing competitive play is the most generic GX skill. Damn it, Konami. Alright. Rhoda will add DD Warrior Lady. DD Warrior Lady will be summoned, and a card will be set behind it to protect it. Not just one. Just kidding. I need to stop saying that. 2 cards will be set to protect it here. As we see Goki Pawn from Starblast 100. Again, I should probably go through that. Starblast 100 is playing Moth and Cyber Angels as the Destiny Hero deck. Oh my god. Guys, the Destiny Heroes are finally banned. The Hexy finally had enough of watching that deck win week after week after week and was like, nope, not dealing with this. Hexy obviously has Moth banned, I think the correct choice. And Cyber Angels and Burn are the 2 decks we'll see, starting with the Burn deck, obviously. Okay, so Warrior Lady attacks into Gokipon. Do you banish her or do you allow the Parasite Surge? Obviously, you banish and not allow the Parasite Surge. Who would do that? Zoma and Phase. Can we get a 2 on the Zoma counter? And now, obviously, end phase means draw phase, which means draw a card. Zoma spins, and we'll go in for the attack. Just kidding. Nightmare Wheel on Zoma. Burn on burn violence. Actually, love to see it. Although not really, because that means both players are playing some burn, which is really annoying. Anyway, now we go main phase 1, which allows you to stack your deck. Literally cheating in Yu-Gi-Oh! What else is next? Can't wait where power creep gets to the point where you literally have cards that let you cheat. We're already there in speed duels, and we're not even at 5Ds yet. Anyway, Nightmare Wheel will do its second burn damage here. As there's no obligation here for Hexy to really do anything. The entire pressure is on Starblast, and to increase that pressure, doubling it, giving Starblast a Lava Golem. However, a Flood Gate Trap Hole. Yes. I should point out the Man-Eater bug, which makes sense considering you're running the little insects to search. So sometimes you want to search the Man-Eater bug, and also you got to fill out your card to 30 cards somehow, right? Your card to 30 cards. Your deck to 30 cards. Excuse me. Floodgate Trap Hole on Lava Golem given to you. How dare you disrespect your opponent's gift to you by doing something so mean to it. Anyway, nothing from Starblast, just set a back row pass. Hexy will once again stack the deck, cheating every single turn. Once per turn cheat is absurd. And yes, Jack is in chat now saying people are appreciated for counting Zomas in Jack's absence. Swordswoman will come out, attack into Lava Golem, and that is so good. That makes it essentially 2,000 burn damage per turn. Now, we know that Swordswoman was probably only drawn because of all the cheating. So, I don't know if this duel actually counts. I'm just kidding, it does. Because it's cheating is allowed in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. Alright, we have Half of Greed, which allows you to draw one card, obviously, where the Man or Bug actually does come into play. DD Warrior Lady is summoned, and we'll try to get into that Swordswoman before the Swordswoman literally ends the game. And yes, indeed, the attack will be successful. I'm surprised there wasn't a wall of D there to just straight up end the game, but we are what we are. And now, Hexy just has to hope that Starblast has nothing to get rid of this Lava Golem or flip it face down before the standby phase, but it doesn't matter. Got a Rhoda, another Swordswoman, so now you have 2 win conditions. And either of these have to go through for you to win the game. The first one does not, but that Book of Moon can no longer be used on Lava Golem in draw phase. So is there something else for the Lava Golem? Starblast enters a think phase, which tells me there's either multiple ways to stop this Lava Golem. Oh, guys, you have to turn Watchers off. I don't know who this is, but get out. All right. So the fact that you're thinking here means you probably either have 2 ways or have nothing, is what I was going to say. All right. Hexy wins the duel. Starblast has not managed to win yet with Moth, and Burn is done. All right, let's move on to game 2, where it'll be Cyber Angels from Hexy against either a Mirror or Moth again. As we see, the players communicating on RPS. Starblast intentionally winning, obviously, as Hexy conceded by disclosing the pick. That's the word, disclose. All right, we see a Cyber Angel Mirror. Understandable, don't want to see Moth 2 games in a row. Thank you for supporting content. We see the Ritual Ceremony allowing you to add 1 ritual spell from deck to hand, and then we're going to just straight up activate it, go bend 10, eat a 10, activate both effects, search the spell, search the Ben 10. Now the order that was searched tells you the chain link order in case you were curious. And then we go draw a card from Starblast. Now, does Starblast also pop off just as much? Does Starblast pop off more? Who's to know? Also, knowing that we've been seeing a lot of flip angels, including jar, you gotta wonder whether that face down monster is indeed an absorbing jar. So we're about to find out. As Starblast just L sets, it is an absorbing jar. Go absorbing jar. Activate your special ability, Trap Absorption. And Starblast does not chain the Zoma, putting it on the field. Why not? wanting to draw an extra card is the only explanation here. Does Hexy have Izana to go into? Can search the Izana off this Senju, but does Hexy have enough for lethal with that Izana? Probably, I want to say. Like, it would be really hard not to, right? Yes, because Ben 10 will give you another search. However, probably no ritual spell here to continue the spamming of the field. Unless that last card in the hand is a third copy of the ritual spell, which would be actually just insane. Hexy left the duel, came back, fixed some lag, very nice. Izana will go into this face down monster. Is this also an absorbing jar, or is this one of the destroy one monster on the field that people have been teching? This is D Warrior Lady using the Machine Angel ritual in Graveyard to survive. And yes, this is not game. I am an idiot. All right. E to 10 will attack into DD Warrior Lady, saying, hey man, you want to banish? Starblast says, haha, no, I still need to draw a lot of my 23 cards left in deck. And draws one of them right now, down to 22. 22 turns to deck out. Summons Senju, the Man of Many Hands, which allows you to search one ritual monster. Obviously, it's a search card. Think about it. With that many hands, what are you going to do except use them to cheat and draw any card you want? Activate Ceremony, finally adding a ritual spell, and now it looks like it's Starblast's turn to pop off. But does Starblast go all the way here? Obviously, we see Ben 10, E to 10. Are we going to see a search for Izana? Looks like we're going to recycle a ritual spell. Nope. Just going into the grave to declare Ben 10 for now. Search for Izana. And yes, recycle the ritual spell is indeed correct. I believe that's actually the right play as well. We're going to activate that ritual spell we just recycled. Going to declare its effect, because you need to declare effects of spells, normal spells you activate, or ritual spells, whatever. Izana will come out, get boosted by 1,000 entire attack points, making it 3,500. This Izana is huge. And Izana's effect actually didn't get to activate because there's no back row here from Hexy, so there's nothing to send to graveyard, which is kind of funny. Although, it's actually, funny enough, like that effect might actually not be the best thing in the world unless your opponent has like a Zoma face up as their only spell trap. Because like otherwise, they just floodgate or book it, right? Anyway, Izana will choose to go into the Senju here, forcing you to make the decision of whether or not you want to... Wait a minute, shouldn't this be 2,100 damage, not 11? Starblast did type in chat here, Izaba 3,500k. That means a monster named Izaba is at 35 million attack points? No, 3.5 million. I don't know math. Alright. Anyway, there's a decision here on whether to banish the Machine Angel ritual to protect Senju. Starblast gives a thumbs up emoji instead of saying 1,000 more damage, and then gives a bunch of think faces. So now DD Willy will also go into that Senju. There it is, 1,000 LP from the level 8. Figured it out. We are smart here. We are very smart. A lot of stuff going on in chat. It's hard to pay attention to both. Usually Justice is talking, so I can pay attention to chat. But I'm just going off here because like I can't even like look at chat and then like it's whatever. Sorry guys, I'm not gonna be as active responding to chat today. We see E to 10 go into DD Warley to just get it off the field to protect your Izana. Makes sense. Zoma the Spirited End phase. Add one to the counter. Maybe this set is Gay Lizard. I don't know if I appreciate the way you said that. Anyway, Zoma will come out in defense here. And will spin to attack as one does. Summon DD Warrior Lady. This set could be anything. It could be anything. Could be anything. Could be DD Warrior Lady. Could be Gale Lizard. Could be Absorbing Jar, which does nothing. Izana's effect activates, attacking again. And that's actually game. So Cyber Angels wins and Cyber Angels loses. Now we have the final match. The final game of the match. Cyber Angels versus Moth. It's time to duel. Both players have 4,000 life points, as you do when the game starts. So dramatic. RPS, Hexy once again disclosing picking scissors, allowing the correct player to choose first or second. And here we go. It's Moth. It's Cyber Angels. Are these the two best decks in the format? Not even close. But we're going to act like they are to make this match more exciting. I mean, Moth is the best deck, but Cyber Angels is obviously not near its power level. Anyway, 3 sets from Starblast and 2 sets from Hexy to start. 3 sets from Hexy to start. All a bunch of face down cards. Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duels, where players set a bunch of cards and pass turnover. Very nice, very speed. Zoma end phase. Can we get a Zoma counter update? Oh, you're right. 30 card Cyber is better confirmed. Starblast was right. Every deck is better at 30 cards. Are you playing a combo deck? 30 cards. Are you playing an Exodia deck, which is somehow in Speed Duels? 30 cards. Everything is 30 cards all the time. All right, subscribe. Here comes DD Warrior Lady. We're gonna see a lot of DD Warrior Ladies. Yep. what a call. What a meta call. All right, DD Warrior Lady. 2 of them plus Zoma is enough for lethal. However, now a wall of D is actually hilarious. So let's see what happens. Cosmic Cyclone on, I assume Zoma. Yes. All right. This still doesn't prevent lethal, as you're down to 3,000 now. Book of Moon, that does stop lethal. However, look at all the resources used up here, whereas your opponent hasn't even used a broken part of their deck yet. They've just used their good stuff, which is so stupid to say, right? Like in historical Yu-Gi-Oh, when you had a good stuff deck, that's all your deck would do, would have good stuff, right? And if you had a big play, you'd have to draw into it. Here, your big play is just like, I have this card I can activate anytime. Anyway, moving on. Are we going to see Ritual Ceremony? Are we going to see a big CA play? Is the bluffed Machine Angel Ritual. Tribute Ben 10 for Ben 10. Now, Ben 10 can't actually do anything much here except trade for a Warrior Lady. But I think the purpose of that was exactly this, to search the Senju, which can allow you to pop off further. Obviously, the skill hasn't been used yet, which will provide access to another ritual spell. So let's see if that's indeed what happens. Yes, it is. You reveal that E10 you just searched. You search for the ritual. You will go ahead and probably activate it here to go Ben 10, E10, a double search. And do we go Izana here? Considering that the both monsters on the field are known DD Warrior Ladies, just like I am known Clown. And I somehow missed what was searched. It's okay, we'll find out soon enough. Oh, thank you. Justice going to the log for me and showing me that it was indeed Senju that was searched, not a Cyber Angel. Got it. Let's continue now. E10 will attack into DD Warrior Lady, obviously knowing the banish was going to happen. Starblast is down 100 life points now, has taken a hit. Blood has been drawn. Now, is Starblast a good Moth player? Obviously, everyone here is a good Moth player. Gotta have the Parasite, equip it, and that's it. That's just game. So, hey, you can play as well as you want, but if your opponent has Parasite and or Zoma, you just lose. Welcome to Speed Duels. Thank you for playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duels. Let's take a look at the deck list here. Starting, I assume, with the Starblast banned deck, which is Destiny Heroes. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Known Clown has been wrong before. Staring at the screen, waiting for the deck to pop up. Sometimes you just open no Cyber Angels. Understandable. Have a nice angel. Yep, here it is. The Destiny Hero deck. I just want to say, by the way, something really cool, thanks to Justice, I found out this week, is this Destiny Hero Dark Angel is actually a good card in current TCG Yu-Gi-Oh! For those of you who may not know. In German Nationals, Heroes got first place, and that deck actually unironically main decks a Dark Angel to stop your opponent from activating broken fusion spells and some of the new broken fusion archetypes in TCG. Anyway, I don't know much about that, so I'm not going to talk anymore before I embarrass myself. But yeah, this is the deck we've pretty much seen for the last couple weeks here, or I guess the whole time here. And yeah, not much to say. A bunch of fusions, a bunch of D heroes, and this deck is terrifying, obviously, right? So it was banned instead of Moth or something. All right, let's move on to the next Star Blast deck here. Obviously, all these are going to be 30 cards, as that is the philosophy to which Star Blast adheres to. That you must play the maximum number of cards possible. Here's Moth. It's your standard Moth build with a bunch of other insects and a couple of tech cards, which are Adhesion Trap Hole and Nobleman of Crossout added. So, you know, if you take your 20 card Moth core and you want to apply your philosophy to it, which is that every deck must be 30 cards, you gotta just add some garbage to it, right? So that's what happened here. All right, let's move on to the decks of the other player, Hexy. I forgot who it was for a moment. I remember. I'm good at this game, which is broadcasting. Anyway, Hexy's band deck was... Oh, I'm just kidding. We still have 30 card Cyber Angels to show off. See, I told you I'm bad at this game known as broadcasting. Anyway, typical Cyber Angel package. However, you're just playing a ton of good stuff. Starbucks actually tricked all of us into thinking this was the right play to play Cyber Angels for a while, including me. But maybe it wasn't a trick. Maybe it is the right way to play. But it just lost, so maybe it's not. Anyway, let's go to Hexy for real this time, starting with the banned Hexy deck. Which, if Hexy was playing Volcanic, obviously that would be the choice, right? Because got second place in Toxic Legacy. Nightblade is saying, "Want to help me with the call, Tara?" What call? What are we calling? Who are we calling? Anyway, we've got Moth here, a very standard Moth deck. Back row hate is also standard, so I'm not going to comment on saying, "Oh wow, Cosmic Cyclone, what a great meta call." Just having the Sphere Kribo to protect yourself from the attack in mirror matches and such is just really good. So that's really the only thing to comment on in this deck. Let's move on. To help you with the call for commentating, typing is hard. Gotcha. Well, we're in a personal call, me and Justice, so might be hard to do, but I don't know. Justice, if you're okay, you can invite Nightblader to the group, I guess. Anyway, we see Hexy once again arranging the cards in a way that would make Justice even more sick than he already is. So thank you for that, Hexy, allowing me to continue the solo cast, as I feel like he was close to healing, but looking at the way this deck was arranged probably made him right as sick as he was at the beginning of the stream. So very good, helping me with my plan to continue taking over speed duels. But again, this is a very standard burn deck. You see your floaters, you see your warriors, you see your search cards, and your trap cards. And yep, that's the burn deck. Let's move right along past the burn deck here. And I'm waiting for things to change on my screen. Here's 20 cards, Cyber Angels. Is this the right way to play Cyber Angels? I myself am not even convinced that Jar is the right way to play Cyber Angels, but the issue with that is maybe there is no right way to play Cyber Angels. Konami just messed up by not making Cyber Angels good enough. Thanks, Konami. You did great. All right, now we're going on to the next match. This is actually the third match out of 4. It's somehow already been 46 minutes. All right, we've got Tensei versus Paulo NS. Can Paulo get another win and attempt to move out of last place, or will Tensei stay undefeated? This is the ultimate underdog story. It's time to duel. Shut up, Jar Hater. Look, I'm just saying, there's no evidence to show it actually works anything better than any other Cyber Angel iteration. But that might just be because Cyber Angels just doesn't work. All right, here we go. Obviously, Paulo winning the RPS, I think, because Tensei wouldn't have chosen to go first, right? Copium. All right. We have what looks like banned from Paulo is Spellproof Armor. Banned from Tensei is Moth. So Tensei will be on Spellproof H Gears, I think. And Paulo is on Moth for this first game. Tensei does nothing passes. Did you brick? Did you draw like 3 B1 Gear Town or something like that? Normal summon Parasite. Equip Parasite. What is this game? Book of Moon on your Parasite literally proves you just need Parasite and Big Monster and good stuff to win the entire game. Yep. Battle phase? What? Oh. Oh, this is a missed lethal. Dude! You could have attacked. You could have attacked first. No! Paulo, why? What have you done? No. The Moth gets booked in main phase, not the Moth, the Parasite. Summoning Moth. It's all BM. It's all BM. Has to be, right? It's a spell-proof deck. What do you think is going to happen? Fear Karibo? No! That's impossible. Nobody's ever been able to play that in a spell-proof deck. You get to draw one card. No! Not like this. Please. No. Tensei draws card. Special summon Cyber Dragon. Does not even activate spellproof armor. Balls of Steel. There it is. Alright. Cyber Dragon will not attack and just pass the turn. Here comes Zoma the Spirit. Special summon on the field. Can we get an update on the Zoma counter? The DM deck list. It would help, I guess. So I don't have to wait for it to pop up on screen. So we have a little bit of a less of a delay. Wow, I can't speak today. All right. Battle phase. Zoma crashing into Sidra 4 game. And Paulo wins the duel anyway, so I guess that misplay did not matter. However, it was still funny to talk about. Alright, Zoma counter is at 5. Never punished, obviously, always undefeated. Paulo never punished. Somehow is still last place. Alright, let's see if Paulo can finish it off here, getting a win with Gaia. Here's the issue, right? You get the quick win because you played the best deck. But can you get a win at all with this Gaia deck? A single one. I mean, you're not playing Moth because you banned it, so that might help. That might go in your favor. But can you still win with Gaia? Let's find out right now. One thing I've noticed about today is that nobody's on Unions. Unions have been performing so bad, people have decided to get off the deck completely. That's funny. Anyway, obviously Tensei chooses to go second and is still playing the Ancient Gear thingy here. Paulo will summon Charging Gaia, not flipping the skill yet. Probably wants to use that set card. Alright, pass this turn over. Tensei will activate Gear Town. Do you have a double Cyclone? Nope, only an Ancient Gear Beast. Don't need Spellproof Armor to summon that once Gear Town is there. Spellproof Armor wouldn't help you summon that anyway. What am I saying? Who am I? Why am I here? Doesn't flip Spellproof Armor. Punish this. Activate Offerings to the Doomed. Do it. Nope. Takes 100 damage. Imagine never flipping up SPA. Just imagine. I want you to just take a second and go into the depths of your mind and imagine not flipping Spellproof Armor. That is all. Alright. Paulo will activate Summoner's Art to get the big Gaia. He's like, you fool. That was only my second strongest monster. It's time I activate my skill card, Knight of Legend. You see, my character has a special ability. Oh, Floodgate Trap on the Gaia. Anticlimactic end to a very anticlimactic monster. No offense. No one is playing Offerings. Very sad to see. But look, sometimes you don't have to be playing it. You just cheat and put it into your deck. There's the double Cyclone at the end phase. Going to target that back row and your own Gear Town. No response. It's Zoma. Gear Town will get to pop off. The Knight of Legend didn't let Zoma be responded. It's... Wait, you could have actually, right? But it would have still been destroyed, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, let's go. Let's keep going. Gear Town does activate. Do we have a tune? Ancient Gear Golem, arise with your power equivalent to that of a legendary dragon. Will we flip Spellproof Armor now? No! Why the hell would we do that? Go to Ancient Gear Golem. Ancient Gear Blast. And that's game. Good game. Well played. No rematch. Subscribe. Nightblader has been the absolute boss for private messaging me the decks. And I can start talking about them right away. Starting with Hollow. Wait. Hold on. Yes. Starting with Paulo, as Paulo did not take the win there. And the banned deck, which is Spell, Proof, Armor. We have one
Hey,
copy of Last
can we watch game 3 before you start doing deck lists?
Oh my goodness, I am bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! Just kidding. We have a game 3. Duh. That wasn't the entire match. Imagine being so stupid. Alright, it's okay. I told you I'm good at this broadcasting game. So good. Look, it's easier when I have the list of... I do have the list of replays. No, I don't. I don't know. What do I have? Who am I? It's time to duel. I am so bad. In the end, Justice had to unmute himself and say something. Could you imagine? He had to break his vow of silence. Alright. The world will now end. Alright, obviously, I think there was whatever happened with the first or second. I don't even... I'm too discombobulated right now to think. Alright, we have a Destiny Hero Monarch against Gaia. Go D-Hero Monarchs! Win it for Aster. Summons the breaker, adds the counter, sets a card, passes. Charging Gaia cannot kill this breaker without killing itself, but a normal Gaia can. Paulo chooses to not even Gaia. Instead chooses to creature swap. Giving you what, well, we'll find out what it is. Taking the breaker, which is actually so good, because now the breaker gets to activate and get rid of a... That's such a plus... Well, creature swap is technically a neg-1, so you kind of went neutral there, but you gave your opponent what I assume is a monster they don't want. So let's see what it is. We're going to see an attack here. Bet. Bet you $20. It's an Apprentice Magician. Not because I know that already. Alright. Apprentice Magician. Gave my $20. Will activate to summon an old Vindictive Magician. Setting it face down. Passing turn. Tensei will draw. Having to make a bit of a comeback here. Summons DD Warrior Lady. Sets a back row, will attempt to go into... Do you go into the breaker for the suicide banish? Nope, you go into the old Vindictive, not worried about trading here. I guess when you're okay with that, you're okay with that. Zoma will come out here threatening big damage. With a normal summon, Paulo could actually just threaten to win the game outright here. Yes, has the charging Gaia. This is lethal. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the upset of the century has occurred. Zoma counter to 6, and the winner, and making sure there are no longer any undefeated players in the Masters circuit. Congratulations, Paulo. You beat the unbeatable. And sorry, Tensei, but you weren't going to be undefeated forever. That's just how it works. Okay, now, assuming there's no game 4. Let's move on to the deck list here. Starting with Tensei, actually, because now that we know who actually lost, we go with the banned Moth deck first, and we have a standard Moth package.
Paolo first. Paolo's SPA is banned.
Oh, Paolo's first.
Read your DMs, fool. Stop making me talk.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I thought we went whoever lost first. Isn't there a pattern to this?
Yeah, the pattern is literally whoever is on top is always first. So Paolo was on top, so he is first. And I sent you the order of decks already, so you have that.
Oh, you did send me that. I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player. You expect me to read? Clown. All right. Like I was saying earlier, we have 2 tech monsters, which are best used for turn 1 plays. Yes, this is obviously a very weird Moth deck. No Parasite, no Moth. Incorrectly built Moth deck. I built Moth without Moth. Ask me anything. Anyway, we also see a Wicked Flamberge Bow here. Obviously, this deck was banned because it's terrifying to play against. I think Soul Exchange is very underrated, but I'm probably not good at Yu-Gi-Oh, so what do I know? Alright. Moving on to Paulo's Moth deck, which we actually saw in action. I don't know why eliminating the league is oh, it's cut off. Haha. The screenshots I have are not cut off. Gap is teched. I think we saw this exact same deck last week, or very similar, because I remember it. I do remember a few things every now and then. Straight Flush is also teched in for those pesky burn decks. But I do wonder in a format like this, how good Straight Flush actually is. Because once your opponent knows what it is, it's not that hard to play around. Although there are some situations where it is very suboptimal or inefficient to not have 3 back row. So maybe you're kind of making your opponent make a decision of whether to play around the straight flush or play suboptimally. So maybe in a way it still has its uses. But I don't know. I mean, obviously Paulo won this week, so who am I to question people who are good enough to first of all be here and actually win? Anyway, let's move on to the Gaia deck, which was actually able to pick up a win this week. Somehow, we see a bunch of hand traps. You gotta have extra hand traps for Gaia, as you can't use your actual traps if you have a Gaia and your skill face up. We see some floating going on here. We see a bunch of Gaias. Obviously, building this deck as Star Blast would have made it. Hail to the 30 card philosophy. Yeah, we do have a United We Stand Here to get over big boys. And Creature Swap, which obviously won the game, which is really good because not only do you have your floaters, you also have your Gentle Mander, which is good to swap as well. Sometimes even swapping a Gaia is good. How do you out big monsters, you say? You just give them your Gaia and take their big monster. Come on, guys, think outside the box. Speaking of boxes, that's a terrible transition, but let's look at Tensei's deck. I don't know why looking at a standard Moth deck would be speaking of boxes, but it does have 2 Wall of Disruptions, 1 Dust Tornado, and 1 Nobleman of Crossout, and 1 Waking the Dragon. So somehow that makes a box. All right, I don't know what that means. Let's just keep going here. I point out all the tech cards. I'm not gonna talk about the Moth package for the 10 trillionth time. Let's go to obviously my favorite deck, which is Destiny Monarchs in Destiny mode. Obviously we see some Monarchs choosing to go with 2 Barrel Dragon and 2 Hades over 2 Jinzo. Now this could be a meta call, as obviously there's a good chance that the players are studying the meta more carefully than I am, as I am not studying it between streams at all. So that's probably a much better meta call than I ever could understand, to play less Jinzo and more of these things. Obviously you see the Destiny Heroes, which is Mally Dasher. You see your good stuff. Choosing only to go 2 DD Warrior Lady, which is certainly a meta call as well. 1 tech a Waking, 1 tech of a Knock, and not choosing to play 3 of any trap card or play any Book of Moon. Tensei explaining in the chat here that choosing not to play Jinzo or multiple copies of Jinzo due to playing significant number of traps. So obviously I've heard this argument a lot from players who have Jinzo, right, where you don't want to negate your own deck, and it does make a lot of sense. So yeah, I understand it. Let's move on to Spellproof Ancient Gear here, which obviously plays your small Ancient Gear package. Small, it's actually a lot of cards. You have your Beast, your Gear Towns, your Cyclones, and your Toon Golem here. And then you play a bunch of good stuff, which includes Jinzo, because if you're playing Spellproof, you have to play probably the best card in Speed Duels if you're playing Spellproof Armor, which is Jinzo. It's immune to everything except monster effects, really good. Floodgate, Wall of D are your traps of choice. Again, interesting that Tensei doesn't seem to respect Book of Moon, not choosing to run it at all in 2 out of 3 decks, and not even choosing to max out on it in the Moth deck. There is one player among us, and well, Tensei is first place, so who are we to question the eternal wisdom of Tensei and less Book of Moons than anyone else? Let's go to the final match of the day. I am feeling dehydrated, so I'm ready to get this over with. Let's go. It's Ursus and Nightblader. Oh, we saved this one for last. According to Nightblader, This game is going to be very funny, or game 3 is going to be very funny, so this match is going to be very funny. I just spoiled that there's game 3, isn't it? I'm an idiot. Alright, let's duel. Oh, by the way, I know what that card is now, that Nightblader's thumbnail avatar thingy is. It's like Red Blossom. I know what that is. I learned it during the week. How did I learn it, you say? You'll find out in a month or 2, I think. Maybe 3. I don't know. I'm working on something, okay? Tease. Alright. Activate Ritual Ceremony. It allows you to search one card. Any card, clearly. What is Justice telling me to say? I don't know. Mouse was moving a lot there. Oh, band decks, probably. He's like, idiot, mention the band decks. Idiot. Alright. Ursus has Burn Band and is on Cyber Angels and Unions. We see the Cyber Angels here starting. Nightblader has Relinquished Band, because obviously is a good Relinquished player, so you want to ban that deck away. Playing Gaia, although that's a picture of charging Gaia, and Unions. Anyway, let's proceed. That might not actually be Gaia. I don't know. I didn't make these. Let's go. We'll find out when we get there, huh? Alright. Machine Angel Ritual obviously is the search target here, as a Cyber Angel was revealed, so it wouldn't make sense to do anything else. Normal Summon Senju. Declare the effect of Senju. Search for a Cyber Angel that is Benten. Wouldn't you want to search first? It doesn't matter if he combos off. Will you combo off? You will combo off, even though it's turn 1. Set up your board. Dodge the Floodgate. Very smart. Just says effects. Does not declare chain link orders. One of these days, this is going to come back and bite somebody. Alright? Just you wait. Chain blocker, important in midterm format. Copium. Alright. I'm just going to pass on that Edaten in defense here. How does Unions deal with this board? Just kidding. It's... Wait. This is Beatdown. Dude, this is Beatdown. This isn't Unions. I just saw Unions was here. I saw Kaiba. I was like, this is Unions. This is Beatdown squared. One of the best decks Nightblader has ever come up with. Let's do it. Charging Gaia is boosted to 2200 and is going to go to... we're going straight to battle. No, we're setting a couple of cards first, then we're going to battle. We're going to run over this Senju or force you to use Machine Angel Ritual, sell your life points. You know, one thing to point out, actually playing 2 decks that use the same character is kind of smart. Because think about it, even Urs is saying, I forgot same character, right? So you might actually be able to throw your opponent off just a little bit if they don't study your decks well enough. Is that they might not know what's coming, even if they do study, right? They're not going to know what you're playing when they're going first. Anyway, just a point I felt I had to make. Alright. Big damage there, choosing not to protect the Senju here. Do we have full combo? Do we have Izana? But before that, do we have a way to make sure that Izana doesn't get floodgated? Well, that might be the way, right there. That could be Absorbing Jar, calling it now 87% calculation that is Absorbing Jar. Let's find out if I'm right. Breaker summoned, and we're going to once again beat down, actually boosting all monsters by 300. Breaker has 2 counters, which in some formats would be cheating, but in speed duels, cheating is not only allowed but encouraged. Don't take that seriously. We go to battle here. Both these monsters are 2200, which means both of them can get over this Edaten, forcing Ursus to banish the ritual to protect that Edaten. Breaker will then attack into the face down, triggering the jar. Oh, just kidding. It's Gale Lizard. Gale Lizard has a choice here of what to bounce. Obviously, you could bounce the Gaia, which is the better monster, like stronger monster overall. But Breaker does have a counter right now, which means right now they're actually both even. However, remember, charging Gaia is what makes the beatdown live. So that might be the decision that was made there, what it was based on in the end. Although if Ursus wants to elaborate in chat, that would be cool. Anyway, Senju is summoned once again, allowing Ursus to search for a Cyber Angel. Unless he's playing Megalith and nobody told me. Nope, it is Cyber Angels. Alright. Activate Machine Angel Ritual, tribute Senju and Gale Lizard, and summon Edaten. Edaten and Edaten. Edaten activates, recycling that ritual. You just drop it right back. Are we going to tribute double Edaten for 1 Huge Izana. I summon Izana, stronger than a god. 4,500. Izana Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Is a floodgate? No, it's a Book of Moon, allowing Izana to pop off, recycling an E10 and destroying, I assume, Breaker the Phenomenal Warrior. Izana will be set face down, losing the attack boost. No longer Izana Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Instead, only Izana Dark Magician. Dark Izana Magician? Dark Magician Izana. I don't know. Pick one of those three. Alright, we see Nightblader special summoning Cyber Dragon and summoning Charging Gaia. Beatdown will now boost each monster by 600, making Cyber Dragon be able to technically get over Izana, forcing the use of a Machine Angel ritual in Grave. You have to banish it. You cannot lose your Izana here. Can Beatdown Squared actually pick up a win? Wait, Charging Gaia is actually at, by my math, 2,500 here. So this attack actually wouldn't even threaten the Zana. Takes 100 damage, as Nightblader admitting in chat. Indeed, maths expert. That made me pause. Also Tang in Dueling Book chat, maths, understandable. Have a nice day. Ursus will happily take that any day of the week. Izana will go into attack mode. Izana is also noticeably confused at the last attack. Izana will attack into Charging Gaia, killing it, dealing some damage, and activating her ability to attack once again in a row. This thing is half Breaker, half BLS, and when you take two halves of those two cards and add Dark Magician's attack stat and a stronger than Dark Magician defense stat, it's a pretty good card. However, if it gets floodgated, it's actually a really bad card. Anyway, Ursa saying not getting me with Waking this time, calling the Waking. Nightblader saying, you fool, I summon a monster with a special ability. Not only that, but I get to boost it up, taking less damage when I crash. Only 700 instead of 1,000. Banish 2,400 Cyber Dragon, equal to Jinzo. What a card. Lets you attack for 2,400 while only actually being 2,100. What a skill. Anyway, lag there from one of the players. Anyway, going to main one. Does Ursus have a counterplay? Now, this is the issue with Cyber Angels, right? Other than the fact that it's easy to side against, and Floodgate kind of stuns the deck too, you have the issue of your opponent made their one push, right? Now, DD Warrior Lady's in the format, which easily outs Izana. Now, the question is, as the Cyber Angel player, do you have follow-up? Did not have follow-up right there, but might still have time if Nightblader doesn't have it on Monster. However, that's something we're about to find out. So let's go. Charging Gaia will come forth. Here's a beatdown again. These monsters are probably too strong. Probably ends the game right here. Yep, Ursus will not even reveal what's probably an Absorbing Jar. Would be hilarious. I would love to see what that is. If you could put your mouse over it there. Yep, it is an Absorbing Jar. Is that Waking from Nightblader face down? Dude, oh, you didn't show us the Waking pop. Anyway, Ursus with the read there that is indeed Waking the Dragon. So, good player in that regard, but not a good player in terms of winning this game. So that sucks. Anyway, Nightblader didn't know math and still won. Shows you the potential of beatdown, right? Summon big monster attack. Terra Master's preferred style of Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright. Why don't we move on to game 2 here, which is going to show us Nightblader has to play Unions, and Ursus will choose either Cyber Angels or Unions. So let's see what the choice is. Oh, they did show us. They did reveal to each other. Ursus did realize, yep, I had the read. Now let's move on to game 2. Unless there's something you want to tell me. Probably not. Alright, cool. Going on game 2. Ursus choosing to go first, which tells me that the deck of choice is Unions here, right? Gotta be. Alright. Set to pass. No hanger. Obviously not a good Union player, which makes going first really bad if you don't open Hanger. I have no idea what Nightblader is on, again, because Kaiba is Kaiba. It is Union Mirror Match. Cool. Here's X-Head Cannon. So neither player opening Hanger. That's great. We have a matchup of bad Union player. Nightblader pointing out in chat clicks next play for funny talkie, which is why Justice went back and did that. Thank you, Justice, for paying attention to chat. X-Head Cannon does attack for 18 here. Data versus top deck a Hanger? No. Still no Hanger. We're all the way in turn 3. Did Nightblader top deck a Hanger? Does have the foolish burial, though, to send the other X-Head Cannon. Because that's not what you want to draw at this point, and did have the Hanger. Alright, so Nightblader not only has an extra card, thanks to going second, has the lead in life points, but also was the first player to draw a Hanger. Looks really good for Nightblader, not gonna lie. Why Dragon Head is searched. We know the play here. Summon, is there a disruption? There's not. Gonna get the Z from deck. All the pieces of Exodia, I mean XYZ Dragon Cannon, have been assembled. Obviously Nightblader looked at extra deck first. All the memes coming out from Nightblader here. Except Cannon will attack, getting rid of that Z Metal Tank. 2100 damage coming in from Y equipped with Z. Book of Moons now, rather than earlier to stop the equip. Interesting. Not how I would have played it, but I'm obviously only the second best Union player in the community. So what do I know? Alright. Activates another Hanger. I mean, Ursus also drew the Hanger. I see your Hanger, and raise you a Hanger, which allows me to search one Y Dragon Head. I summon said Y Dragon Head. I'm just predicting the plays now. Hanger activates. Does Nightblader have a book for it? Nope. Or might, and chooses not to, since that's apparently the optimal play now. Banish YZ. Oh, we're gonna see a scramble. Here's YZ. Tank Dragon. No floodgate on that either. Tank Dragon will not activate its effect. Just choose to attack the X-Head here. Gets booked, so both players choosing not to disrupt the Hanger to get the Z Islet deck with their Book of Moon, instead waiting till the battle phase to use their Book of Moons. Now, if somebody wants to explain this to me, I would love to hear it. Anyway, Y Dragon Head here. Once again activating Hanger. Still no Book or Floodgate to disrupt this play. I guess this just isn't a good play anymore. You just let it go. Whatever happens, happens, right? Deck out comes up in the mirror. Oh my goodness, you guys are thinking that far ahead? This is why you're better than me. I'm not thinking about deck out until like we're at 5 cards. What? Anyway, Book of Moon on summon of the YZ here, so not even giving it a chance to activate the effect. Smart. Now banishing X and Y to summon XY. We rarely ever see this card, unless specifically used to, you know, destroy a face-up Zoma or something. Although technically it could get rid of Hanger here. I don't know if that'll be the choice. Scramble on summon. Before it chooses to get rid of the Hanger, you want to go ahead and activate that Hanger one last time. But couldn't you have waited until it was targeted? Make your opponent discard their hand? Yes. You activate Hanger, not flip it face down. Sure. Grabbing the Z here. There is a set back row. XY will attack the Z Metal Tank. End phase, and that's it. Okay. Ursus will draw. Going into a low think phase here. Does Ursus have an X in grave? I don't think so, right? There's a Nightblader who had multiple copies of X. Yeah, no X. Alright. Ursus does not have access to XYZ Dragon Cannon. Needs to find another way to out this 2200 body here that's on the board. Summons another YZ Tank Dragon. So now has 2 monsters with 2200 defense, which is fine, but neither of these outs the issue on the field right now. Will banish the Scramble to get a Y Dragon Head back. Are you going to see Hanger triggered 3 times? No, it looks like that Y Dragon Head will just be used as discard card to get rid of Nightblader's YZ. So cool, that's a good use for it too. Sets the back row and passes turn over to Nightblader. Now, Nightblader has his own issue of getting rid of 2200 bodies. 2200 is obviously the new meta. Since Hanger would activate on a new chain post-resolution, as such, not be on the field. Ah, you're right, you're right. All right. Scramble coming down from Nightblader. Man, both of these decks, well, they're both Union. So this deck just has so many resources. The mirror match is just like a constant influx of I add this to my hand, I summon this, I summon that, I activate this, which lets me summon this and that. All right, anyway, we'll Union off for a YZ of Nightblader's own. Ursus will think on summon here, but then lets it go. Nightblader will activate to pop one of the YZs on Ursus's field. Still has no visible way of getting rid of the other one. Simply goes to end phase, and that's it. Accidental misclick there of sending your own monster to graveyard. Understandable. Have a nice click. Now, what are we going to see from Ursus here? How do you counter this? What player can get to their big boss monster first without fearing it just getting floodgated or defusion? Well, I doubt they're both running defusion, but without getting floodgated or booked on summon, right? Hanger again searches for the second Y from deck. So, you know, deck thinning is deck winning, but this Y is just going to have to be set here. Couldn't have done much summoning that face up. And no point in discarding it for YZ's effect. Just pass his turn on that. Nightblader will draw a card, activate Union combination. Might be the first time we've actually seen that. Summon XZ, 2400 body, actually relevant here. Big enough to get over this 2200 defense. So 2400 is now the new number to defeat. But is it going to be good enough? Do you use its effect? Nope, Floodgate Trap Hold immediately. Back down at 21. Activating YZ now to discard Hanger to pop that bat face down instead of just attacking into it. I wonder if this is just like this Hanger is useless anyway, or if it's just playing around the wall. Could be either of those things. Let's see if Ursus can draw something to counter this board that Nightblader has built of 3 purple cards. Three of them. Alright. Nightblader will draw a card. Here, Ursus could not, in fact, out triple purple board. But now Nightblader's zone is actually full. So cannot actually summon more monsters unless one monster is removed. Is Nightblader stuck here and just going to deck out? Yeah, we're going to have to speed through this until someone actually does something. Setting a card does not count as doing something. Alright, Union combination. Here we go. Somebody's doing something. X. Z. Y. No, just XZ. I'm an idiot. Alright, he's saying, can you deal with my 2400? Nightblader says, not yet. Activating the effect of said 2400, discarding the third Hanger, getting rid of the bluffed Foolish Burial, nice. And we go to battle, we attack into the YZ. Nightblader just lets that pass, happily letting a zone be cleared for potential boss monster summon. There should be no damage, by the way. There should be no damage. Union combination was used. Thank you, Justice. I wonder if that 300 life points will matter. Nope. Ursus corrects the score here. Thank you. Set card, pass. Scramble will activate summoning the X-Head Cannon. This might give you the fodder you need for XYZ, I would assume. Activating the XZ first. Obviously, you want to get rid of any potential Floodgate Trap holds. That was a Scramble which chose... Neither chose not to chain, interestingly enough. Doesn't want to fill up the board again, maybe? Scramble will activate Engrave, allowing you to search for a banished Union monster. Discard, I assume it's going to be discarded to make sure that's not a floodgate there before you summon your boss monster. Thinking on this activation of effect here. Activating this scramble. Okay, so didn't activate the first scramble to bait your opponent into wasting another resource, which is the scramble Engrave, to try to get rid of the other scramble, which you then chain to put another defense on the board. Makes sense. All right. We go X, Y, Z. It is finally time to summon XYZ Dragon Cannon. Are we going to go all aggro here? Yes, we are. Spin your YZ to attack. YZ over the Y. XY over the face down, which we know is an XY, and XYZ over the XY. I just threw out a lot of letters there, and I don't know if they were all correct. All right. Nightbiter will draw his fourth last card here. No damage that turn, obviously, as Union Combination was used. Union Combination, speaking of Union cards, Union Scramble is used here to recycle a Union. It's normal summon X, banish X, Y, Z. I see your XYZ and raise you an XYZ in my own floodgate trap hole. That probably seals the game. Yes, it does. Well, Unions picks up the win for Ursus. Ursus, maybe this is a sign to stick to Unions. You have been the first player to win with Unions in a long time in SMC on the first attempt. Obviously, it doesn't say much as Unions also lost this game. So even when they win, they lose. So let's go to game 3. And this is the one that I was promised would be funny. So let's see what happens. Nightbiter choosing to go second. And obviously the matchup we know is Cyber Angels versus Union. Angel Search for Ritual. All right. Nightblader will get his turn here. Sorry, I had to look at my phone for a minute. Oh, second. That wasn't an entire minute. All right, Ursa just set past. This could be Jar. Nightblader might have the perfect counter to Jar, which is YZ Boy. Search the Y, open hanger. Obviously, good Union player this time around. Once you lose, you become better with the deck. Everyone knows this. YZ, yep. YZ Tank Dragon. Activates. Discard X. Destroy what could be Absorbing Jar. It's Gale Lizard, so even better. Would it counter to your purple card? Very nice. Set 2, pass. Wait, pass? What? No, wait. No, go to next play. There's got to be a battle phase. There's got to be a misclick. Okay? Ursus had a same reaction. Yeah, Nightblader throwing to make sure it doesn't make the top 6. Obviously, that's what's happening here. Very well done. Nope, Ursus being nice took the 2100 damage. You know, I'm not going to lie, that happens to me sometimes. When it's time for battle phase and my opponent has an empty board, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm going first, right? So I just pass. And then as it turns out, no, your opponent has an empty board because you cleared it, you moron. Anyway, Ursus will activate Machine Angel Ritual here. Pitching Ben 10, summon E to 10. Such a nice play to give Ursus a chance. Indeed, indeed. Literally attempting to throw. Ursus saying, do not throw this game, Joey. I want to win fair and square. All right. We see the double search. See the Senju summoned. And Senju will get to search. Again, this deck searches so much. If we just had literally a Thunder King Ryo, Cyber Angels would go from tier 3 or something to like tier like clown. Anyway, Senju searched. And do we go further into the combo? Yes, we do. Sacrifice E to 10 and Senju for Ben 10. I mean, Izana, Ben 10. Anyway, double boost from E to 10, making each monster 26 and 35 respectively. Sending the bluff Foolish Burial as you would. Most intelligent speed duels, by the way, obviously, yes. Izana will kill that YZ and then get to attack again. Ursa saying just 500. Wait, did Izana not kill it? Did I look at chat at the wrong moment? E to 10 killed it. All right. Hold on. That's right, because Izana can't attack directly on the second attack. Don't listen to Cursive's cheating rulings. Listen to the actual rulings. All right, Izana will go in for direct here. Nightblader once again not doing math correctly. Understandable. Have a nice addition, subtraction. Summons Y and Z, not X, from Banish using Scramble. Hanger activates. Izana will go ahead and get into Z, activate effect, get into the Y, destroying the other Z. Destroy 2Z metal tanks in one turn. Ask Izana anything. All right. Turn passes after that. Night Raider will think here as what the potential best play is. It might just be to summon your big boss monster and get rid of these ritual spells in grave while you can. Book of Moon first. Makes sense. Izana will activate, recycling an Edaten to pop one card. You destroy the hanger here? I think that makes sense. Now Izana is face down, and will not be protected from any union effect here to pop it. So we're going X. We're going XZ actually. That doesn't pop face down monsters. That's not what I was expecting. All right. Cool. Banish the scramble to search the X. All right. Summon the X. Plasma! Yes! I summon Destiny Hero Plasma! Go Plasma! Activate your ability! Plasmatic Absorption! Go Plasma! With your new attack points! Attack Plasmatic Blood Barrage! It's 2700 as Nightblader tells us. The banished Machine Angel Ritual will protect Izana, but Izana has no effect. Edaten, if summoned, has no effect. Absorbing Jar has no effect. Senju, that's right, has no effect. Night Raider draws a card. It doesn't matter what the card is. Plasma has already won, but the card, to make things worse, is a Union Hanger. Union Hanger allows you to search. Summon Y Dragon Head. Activate special ability of Hanger. Equip a Z. 2100 monster. Go. Plasma. Attack. Plasmatic Blood Barrage. You're damn right. I have been excited for like 3 straight minutes. Attack. Let's go. YZ. Destroy his last pathetic monster. Draw your last pathetic card, Ursus, so Aster Phoenix can win this duel. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the only pro duelist in the anime history, it's Aster Phoenix, also known as Nightblader. Nightblader is Aster Phoenix confirmed. Confirmed! Alright, I'm normal. I'm fine. I can breathe again. Alright. Let's see if I have some deck lists to go into here. Alright. Are we ready to show off deck lists? We're going to go to the banned deck from Ursus, which was Looking Burn, as it's called. Obviously. It looks like Burn. Wait, no, we're showing Relinquish first. Damn it, I should have read my DMs again, shouldn't I? Aha! Alright. Relinquish would be a very stupid looking Burn deck, because that's not what it is. It is indeed Relinquish deck, where this is obviously a much more, I'll call it, to be nice, we'll call it a much more concise Relinquish build. We won't insult anybody here. As we see the Relinquish package, the pre-preps, only playing 2 copies each of the Ritual Spell and Relinquished, and as well as the Faceless. So to brick less, right, now let me explain the logic behind this, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is you want to play less copies of Relinquished and the spell itself and more pre-prep, so you see the pre-prep more often. Now, obviously, being part of Team JDG, Nightblader's chances to brick anyway are still about 3 times as much as other players, but you know, that's not. You still have to reduce the odds as much as you can. Anyway, pretty standard Relinquish deck. Otherwise, obviously, Zoma needs to be banned, so gotta put it in every deck until it's banned. But let's move on to the next deck, which actually does not have Zoma, which is What's Wrong With You? How are we gonna ever get this card banned if you don't play it and play Wall of Disruption instead? But anyway, this is Beat Down Squared, as I pray to God that Beat Down Squared is what appears on the screen, because that's the deck I'm looking at. Thank you. So we have Offerings, and they said, no one plays Offerings anymore, Terra Master. Well, guess what? Nightblader, who just won, is playing Offerings to the Doomed. So, who's the idiot now, clowns? We did it. We did it, Reddit. All right. Yeah, so you see, you have your level 5 or higher monsters, 6 of them, to trigger your beatdown. You have your good stuff monsters to trigger your good stuff effects. And you have your good stuff spells and traps to trigger your good stuff removal and counterplay. Also, you have Awakening the Dragon, because Ursus was afraid of that, and rightfully so, right? So, good stuff from Nightblader, winning with a spicy, spicy deck. Well done. Um, Another deck that doesn't have Zoma is Unions, because Unions is actually the one meta contender that doesn't care about Zoma and doesn't need it and doesn't want it. But what Nightblader does have in this deck, which you saw, specifically counters Cyber Angels so hard that it just wins the game. But I want to point out that not only that, it can also win the game in the mirror match, because it also negates all your Union fusions. And that is the one, the only Plasma. Plasma too strong. That's all there is to say about this deck. Play Plasma, win games. What those Union decks who couldn't win in previous weeks were missing was actually summoning Plasma. So yeah, get good, summon Plasma. Let's move on to Ursus's decks here. We see the banned burn deck first, which we're actually going to see now, I hope. You have your standard burn deck, but we have black Brachios here choosing to play that instead of something like Warrior Lady of the Wasteland and Exiled Force and that typical warrior package, floating warrior package you would have. And no Rhoda either, choosing to go more trap heavy, which makes sense, right? It is essentially a trap heavy deck. I think the strategy here is if your opponent doesn't ban your burn deck, you ban whichever one of their deck has the most access to Jinzo, and that way your trap heavy deck probably wins, but obviously your opponent can't just ban it, choosing that calculation not come into account. So, but if your opponent ever doesn't ban it, you just ban their Jinzo deck. Or I think maybe Ursa's strategy might be to always ban the Jinzo deck. Yes, some might actually say it's a dinosaur deck, but those some people would be very deceptive and dishonest, and we don't like people like that around here. All right. Moving on to Ursus's Cyber Angel deck, which has Absorbing Jar and Gale Lizard as the flip monsters. So look, as people adapted Ursus's previous version of Flip Angels, which had the Night Assailant and Old Vindictive and Maneater Bug, Ursus said, "You fools, I have taught you everything you know, but I have not taught you everything I know. For I present to you the next evolution of Flip Angels, Gale Lizard Angels." And other than that, it's very standard Jar Angels, very nice. 0 traps, 0 hand traps, because who needs that? Who needs protection? All right. XYZ Unions are the final deck from Ursus. It is the very standard build he has been playing for years at this point, just with Floodgate added once GX came out. No longer playing things like Offerings the Doomed. So standard Union deck, really good. However, would lose to Plasma and doesn't play Plasma. So that's the problem here. Play Plasma next week. Anyway, I think that's it. We're done. So I just want to say, once again, another good week. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Ursus, indeed the only one celebrating Pride Month, so thank you for that, Ursus. And Justice, I know you haven't been feeling great, but you wanna close it out here as you open it up.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for all your help today, Terramaster. I appreciate it. Thank you for
Yep.
everyone for being here. Obviously, we have to do things a little differently today, but still was a lot of fun. Some really cool games, and hell yeah, we got Plasma for the win, so that was sweet. Thank you, Nightblade.
Yeah, my voice was high pitched for like the longest it's ever been consecutively in my entire life. So thank you, Nightblader, for that.
Yeah, that was
All right.
hilarious. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right.
All right, cool. Yeah, that'll do it for this week. So again, thank you everyone for being here. Of course, thank you to our players as always for participating in what's ultimately kind of an experimental format. Something it's the first time we've had this in Speed Duel. So thank you to everyone. Yeah.
And for those of you watching the VOD on YouTube,
Yes.
like, comment, subscribe, and if you made it this far into a VOD, I love you. All right. Yep.
Yeah. If you did, what was the hashtag that you put in at the beginning of the chat?
Pray for justice.
Yeah. All right. If you made it this far in the VOD on YouTube, just put that in YouTube comments so that we know you're one of the real ones that watch through everything.
Ooh, yeah. Hashtag pray for justice. Let us know that you've watched the entire VOD and how awesome you are.
Alrighty, so yes, that'll do it for us for this week. Of course, we'll be back next week at the same time, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where hopefully I will actually be able to speak again. Until then, as always, my friends, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Good luck in all of your games, and we will see you next week.